My mother was in divination and was entering in trance when she was doing ritual. She was a witch working with wicked spirit. My father was in black magic. In full moon he cooked food supposedly for spirit. We did ritual after feeding these spirit. My brother and I were supposed to eat. When my mother was going in trance I was her servant. I thought there was nothing wrong with this. But I was unconsciously serving wicked spirit. Back then a baby and a foreigner were buried alive in a ritual in the village, and wizard proclaimed that we will never be killed by witchcraft of other village. My mother was a chief wizard in that village. Years later I wanted to become a wrestler. I went on to do Greco-Roman and Olympic battle, but over time I began to seek power. Fellow fighter encouraged me to seek power. When they enter the ring they did demonstration. Later on, I was in a train in the southeast of the country, and I met a man who told me he is a master and he has power. I was curious and said, "Can you show me that you have power?" He showed me picture of my colleague that were his disciple. In his bag I saw a living snake, book and statue. Since I asked him for power, when the train stopped we entered the bush and he did incision on my body, and the first power he gave me was long distance head kick. I became able to hit people in distance. Incision in my body meant demon were put in my body to enable me to do unexplained things. My body is full of incision because of the search of power, Indian magic and Catholic magic. Over time I got sick and I was paralyzed. I went back to my master to complain about my condition. The master told me, "There are too many spirit in your body, and all these spirit in you are fighting for leadership in your body, for one of them want to rule. In order to survive you must become a master, so that you will be able to control them. Thus you must be initiated in Indian magic, which is red magic." I had no choice, either I stay paralyzed or died. Since I had no choice I accepted, quickly. He asked me to bring white candle, a perfume called Ahisha. This is the name of a goddess that was venerated by the Algerian musician in the song called Ahisha. My master also asked me to bring banana and peanut. When I came with these articles, in the night we went to the river bank. The master lighted the white candle that he aligned in the shape of a pyramid. When the candles were lightened the master began to do incantation. The marine kingdom, as a result his prayer, there was a deafening silence around the river, for I could no longer hear noises of bird and toad. Suddenly a powerful whirlwind arose in the national river. While I was observing the whirlwind above the river, I saw a siren arising from the depth of the river, and coming toward us. Immediately I saw my master venerating her and praising her, and saying, "You are the goddess of water, beauty and power belong to you." Then my master told the siren, "I brought this new disciple here, he want to work with us." The lady of the sea asked me, "Do you agree to serve us?" I accepted. She told my master, "Go to the cemetery where you will complete this ceremony," and then she returned in the water. Immediately my master took me to the cemetery. It was already midnight. When we arrive at the cemetery, this was not a ceremony of open cemetery but a ceremony of closed cemetery. A ceremony of open cemetery is the one through which an interdimensional wall or gateway is opened, to allow you to enter the spiritual world, where there are people, houses and enterprises and another life. At the cemetery my master selected 2 coffins of people who die without Christ, and began to do ritual. For whoever die without Christ, his coffin and tomb become an instrument of demons. Demons can use the remain or body of the dead to come to operate in the world of men. Make no mistake, the kingdom of heaven belongs to the violent. People are taking these things of God lightly. Brother, we must fight violently in order to enter the kingdom of heaven. The Lord Jesus gave the parable of the sower in order to indicate that only 25% of humanity that will be saved, for only 1/4 of the land that was able to produce fruit after receiving the seed. We are all called, but few will be chosen, and there will be an election. We were before 2 tombs of the unbeliever, and my master light on 2 candles and began to do magic prayer. Dr. Solomon and Lady Jeanine of the river. Suddenly I saw that we were no longer in the cemetery, but in a forest. I saw before us coming a violent wind. As the wind was blowing I saw trees falling down. I rose up in order to run away. My master told me, "Don't do it, either you will die or become crazy." I was scared. As a result my master gave me red ribbon to cover my head. It was for protection. and when I cover my head I felt like everything was usual. I was no longer afraid as if I have been here. While the wind continued to blow, suddenly I saw a skeleton coming towards us. As he was approaching I saw my master venerating and praising him. He said to this skeleton figure, "Dr. Solomon, you are the true king, the only true king of Israel." According to the words of Lucifer, this skeletal figure was King Solomon. We all know the end of King Solomon before his death. He fell in idolatry and the devil recuperated his soul in order to use him. This skeleton asked me, "Do you really want to serve us?" I said of course. He told me, "All right, I am going away, but I will send someone that will initiate you." As he was leaving, I saw a light illuminating the place, for Satan turned to an angel of light. When you pray and see the light, don't rush to kneel down, but use the name of Jesus Christ and see the reaction. When I looked at the light, I saw a lady, and when I look at her carefully, I saw a beauty that is not of this world. As she came to us I was bewitched by her beauty. Meanwhile my master was praising and worshipping this woman, and I joined her praising the beauty of this woman, called Jeanine. Finally she asked me, "Are you really willing to serve us?" I said of course. She then gave me a code, a magic number and prayer to recite. When she disappeared we found ourselves in the cemetery. I went back home. I was supposed to never look back or left and right. I walked like that for many kilometers. This is how Satanists keep the rules, but this is not the case for God children. When I got home I was happy to be able to talk the invisible spirit. The following day we went to the National River, and when we did a magic prayer, Jeanine appeared and invited us to join her. After walking 2 steps I saw that we were already inside a house where everything was red. There were chairs and wall of the house. She presented me a book, upon which I was supposed to sign with my blood. I injured myself and signed with blood a pact with Satan, which stipulated that I gave 13 years of my life to Lucifer. But when I came to the Lord Eric over those years, I saw my images showing in the TV of this Lady of the Sea. When I was still a baby my mother was applying herbalist method to get me to walk quicker. I watched all these in her TV. The evil lady said to me, "We were working in your life when you were still a baby, now you can go back. I already sent you documentation." When we went out of this house and walked 2 steps we were back to earth, around the National River. When I got home I found books sent by Jeanine. One of them was The 7 Secret of the World. Other books had faces of demonic beast and prayer to invoke them. There was also a cross, which is a powerful pentacle. I am not alright to see people wearing the cross and putting them in churches. I will elaborate when we reach the Roman Catholic magic. Santos, the Prince of Forest. Then Jeanine sent me to the forest to meet Santos, a prince that ruled the forest. I was to bring Santos an animal or pentacle. When I met him in the forest, Santos said, "You will be respected by all the animal in the forest of Africa." He gave me the power of Baobab to master anger. He gave me another power called magnetism, and he told me, "I am in the obligation to give you bodyguard." Quickly he summoned 6 strong infernal spirits that came from the cauldron of hell. They were soldiers of hell. He introduced me to them and told them, "You will protect this man, wherever he goes you will follow him and protect him." Then Jeanine sent me to meet the Queen of the Sea, and she gave me an egg, the god of India. When I summoned the Queen of the Sea, she emerged from the water. I saw that she came with another wicked spirit, who was the god of India. I gave this queen the egg, and she told me, "Remember that asking is not commanding." This is the principle that guides Satanic and Satanist. Even if there are demons that are at your service, you can only instruct them to do things, not command them. The queen told me, "You need to come to the water for baptism." Straight away I was immersed in the water and brought out, and I was born again in Satanism. The god of India gave water of the Red Sea. He said, "You will bring us water of the Red Sea." Actually, water of the Red Sea means human blood in sacrifice. When I drank blood that he gave me, my heart changed. I became cold-blooded and merciless, ready to destroy, kill and block people's lives. Then the queen broke the egg and pulled out a ring that came out of it, the ring of power called the Quarter 12 Kabbalistic. She put it on my finger. She said to me, "This ring has 3 power. When you turn it once it's the power of seduction. When you turn it twice it's the power of destruction. When you turn it 3 times it is the power of bewitchment." after meeting the god of India. Then Jeanine sent me to the cemetery to meet another spirit. When I got to the cemetery, I did incantation of open cemetery, and a gateway was opened, and I entered the world of cemetery. I went directly to the funerary bank of the pandemonium world. Note that every monetary note on the earth must get a mark of the funeral bank of the pandemonium world, and all the monetary notes of the earth are in this bank of the world of Satan, where I met a demon called Madame Teresa, who gave me a magic wallet, which was producing $600 every day, that I was supposed to spend on that day. I should not exceed 24 hours with that money, for fear of punishment. This was my first mission, and in order to spend $600 every day, I was going to the money changers and giving them the dollar, and they were giving me national money, and anyone that ever touched that money of the world of darkness, his face was appearing on my magic mirror, unless he is an authentic Christian. And I was capturing the aura of the people that were appearing on my mirror, and I was transferring their aura to the funerary bank of the pandemonium world, where their chances and stars were exploited. This is why you must learn to pay offering and tithe. People called me boss everybody because of beers and drink I bought them with money of the world of Satan. They like me for spending money, yet I was exploiting their chances, their star and aura. Be careful with people who spend money and give money just like that. Jeanine sent me to the cemetery to meet another demon. Through prayer of the crucifix, I invoke the demon of cemetery called Javan, and I talk to him. He gave me the power to open dimensional wall. I want to say that between our world and the spiritual world there is always a doorway, whatever the gateway, such as the gateway of the cemetery or the water or the space, where people do astral traveling. I was to break dimensional wall in order to open a gateway to the spiritual world. There were 3 codes that I was using to break the dimensional wall. The first code was the word Akram. You will know the musician that called himself Akram, to signify that he is the one who opened the gateway leading to the world of Satan. The second code to open gateway to the unseen world that I was using is the word abracadabra. When I was doing incantation and saying this word, the dimensional wall was opening for me. To enter the spiritual world, a pentacle is a symbol or drawing that get the world of Satan to intervene in the physical world. It removed God's presence around the place, and the Satanists no longer depend on anyone, not even God. Drawing a triangle of Solomon which peak is turned upside down also open a dimensional gateway, for a normal triangle has it peak upward not downward. The third magic code I was reciting to break dimensional wall was the word Sisam. Then Javan, the god of cemetery, gave me the 4 commandment of Satanist. The first command say you must honor Satan with your heart, soul and strength. The second command say you must never quote the name of the master of Christian. The third command said you must commit yourself strictly and respect the commitment. The fourth command said you must be punctual and in time when it is about ceremonies and rituals. In this kingdom of darkness 9 o'clock is not 8:45, and 9 o'clock is not 9:15. Whenever you abuse the time you will be punished. This is a world deprived of mercy and forgiveness. The god Javan told me, I will introduce you to a man. Suddenly I saw a demon coming on a horse. He was a knight riding a horse and he was holding a whip. The god of cemetery Javan told me, this is Johnny Walker, the master of discipline. When you fail to keep the 4 commandments he is the one that will come to whip you. When I converted, beloved, I found out that Christian were not disciplined like Satanist. They had liberty to do what they want. They can come to church when they want. They are not strict. That is not the case for Satanist, who are serious and strict when they commit to do something. Christian make commitment that they don't follow, and they don't even ask God for forgiveness. We must change our mentality, because our God is dreadful, and in the day of judgment people will discover him. The god Javan gave me the power to control the world of cemetery. After incantation the bell was ringing and the interdimension wall was opening for me to enter the world of cemetery. Then Jeanine gave me 2 statues, male and female. The female statue was the siren Mari Tara, that was helping me in divination. Whenever this lady was joining me I did not need people to tell the problem. Moreover, when people came to see me I could come into contact with the spirit of control and pursue that accompany a human being on the earth. All these spirit would begin to tell me about people, family and issue that brought them to me. These are demons that work with so-called prophet, that work with the spirit of cemetery and water, in the name of prophecy. Since people like shows, they run to them. I could have opened a church, reveal people's secret and life like many satanic men, that have become pastor. This lady of the water was revealing to me generational story of family of people coming to me. The second statue was incarnating in me to fight, for he was giving me strength. When I was with Lucifer of India, he gave me power to destroy churches. I was to fight churches through money, wealth and women. God's servant were our prime target. We had to fight them through money, wealth and women. The women we were using were princess of the Queen of the Coast. I want to highlight that any women that live in prostitution and sexual impurity, is automatically a princess of the Queen of the Coast. These are the type of women we were using to bring down God's servant. Beloved, there is no resistance and experience before seductive women. The only thing to do is to run away and flee. Very often God's servant fall with women that are around in their proximity. Therefore you need safeguard. I was to attack the church with sickness, bareness and sleep during the preaching of the word. I was making the atmosphere heavy during the service, for I could invoke the wind of cemetery, that was making people heavy during the service. This is how I fought the church. Then I was instructed to visit the Queen of the Coast. Back then I was in Kungalo. I was supposed to go to Kalami, where I was supposed to meet the Queen of the Coast. On that day I went to the bridge, at the meeting of Lake Tanganyika and the river Lakaga, in that place where the lake and the river meet but do not go beyond their limit, and the fish of the lake and river do not cross the boundary. It is in that place that there is a gateway. When I got there I did magic prayer and descended underwater to meet the Queen of the Coast, in order to obtain the third eye. Previously I was actually using eyes of witches, that I had acquired after sacrificing people. There were these fishermen that were in the boat. I looked and saw that they were without protection. I invoked a wind that overturned the boat. The wind was sent by Lucifer of India, but these eyes of witches were not enough. When I was still a witch I was living double life. I was seeing things of material world and immaterial world. I saw wicked spirit moving in our world, and when wicked spirit move in our world they do not walk on the ground but they hover. When they want to walk they place their finger on the ground, then their feet reach the ground. When a wizard look at you, beloved, if you are a liar he will know that you are a liar. If you are an angry person he will know that you have an issue of anger or pride or hate. And with the third eye the occultist see us clearly. Demon as well. You cannot hide before your enemies. The only way to hide is to live a holy life. When I got to the marine kingdom, the Queen of the Coast told me, you need to have the third eye, that is between the two eyes. This third eye see permanently. It is the eye in a dollar bill. The Queen of the Coast told me, in order to acquire the third eye we must travel beneath the Indian Ocean, for there is a mysterious island there. All these journey was in the request of the Lady Jeanine. When we got to this island beneath the Indian Ocean, I saw strange birds, for they had faces of dog and cat. I learned that they were guardians of the mysterious island. I was taken to a cavern and these birds opened the gate. Then we enter another dimension, where I saw an unknown city populated by monsters. There was spirit with human body but head of animal, even skeleton. Some had head of cow, goat and lion. I inquired to the Queen of the Coast. She told me these spirit are Phelps, and they work in the name of Beelzebub. Then she led me to a chamber called Black Chamber. In that place I saw human that were killed when all their blood were withdrew from their body. The Queen told me these were our disciple, and they betray us. This is their fate, and if you betray us you will be brought here. Then she led me to the second chamber, where the body of the victim that were executed were brought. These body were dried and became powder. The Queen gave me 2 little boxes of this powder for healing. In fact healer use them. Then she showed me a robust man in this chamber, and said this man is the dragon of Madras. If you betray us, he is the one who will come to capture you. Since I was under manipulation I could not back off from these wicked spirit, yet she was presenting to me the danger of serving the world of Satan. Then she said to me, you will need to get the book called The Monogram of the Master. This is a book that is given to Rosie Christian when they reach a high level. I was also to get chakra, and I needed a secret room for miracle, and a tabernacle where spirit were supposed to land. It was then I got the third eye. I want to mention a class of incubus and succubus demon, Firstly, the use of condom is a demonic practice. In a dimension of Satan called the world of Golders, there are spirit called spirit of bedroom. It is in this kingdom that there are manufacturing industries of the satanic world. Everything that we have on earth are also designed there. Generally the center of manufacturing of items in the physical world begin there in that world of Satan. In this world the wicked spirit called bedroom spirit or picker spirit, their task is to move in different hotel rooms in order to pick condom. Even if you drop them in the toilet, you must understand that toilet is a satanic post station, and you got to understand that there is life in these semen in these condom. Maybe you think that you never aborted, but the use of condom is abortion. Masturbation is also abortion. You are killing just for simple pleasure, and thinking that there is no consequence. Unless you confess, you will face judgment in the last day of judgment. The demon picker collect all these semen in condom, and take them to the world of Golda, and they put these semen in beauty lotion, soap and perfume that they send to earth, in order to explode sexual immorality in the world. The spirit of chambers and toilet are in the order of incubus and succubus. Whoever use condom is bound by the spirit world because it come from there, with a precise mission. We as Christian cannot use condom. There are deeds and practices that open doorway to the spirit world, such as oral sex. This give legality to the demonic world. Many family are destroyed by demon because of anal and oral sex. If you ever practice these things you need to confess. Later on, Jeanine asked to attend a summit underwater. Beforehand I was supposed to offer a human. She introduced me to a spirit called Lucifer of India. There are many Lucifer, such as Lucifer of hell, but there is Lucifer Satan, the devil himself. Lucifer of India was in charge of human sacrifice. He had a garment that go down his feet and he carried away soul. There are people walking today but member of their body are being devoured. You will see that they suffer a sickness affecting body part. He is just waiting for the day of death. This demon asked me to point a victim that he will kill. I courted a lady that accepted because I had power of seduction and the manipulation. I slept with her and Lucifer of India came and she was captured by this demon. Sexual impurity is a dangerous door, where the enemy act. My sister, you don't follow men for money. You may fall in love with a Satanist that will not hesitate to sacrifice you. I had no love in me and I was to kill in order to attend the underworld summit of demon and Satanist. When I went to the national river I did magic prayer and I found myself beneath the water in a hall, where I saw Satanist and demon. What surprised me is that I saw even people that have died long ago, including our late president and former prime minister. They were working against our country. This is why the Lord said in his prayer, "Further I am not asking to take them away from this land but to keep them. This land does not belong to us. The devil is the god of this world that is staying and it will be destroyed. We are not of this world and we cannot embrace and applaud everything.